So as part of the SG Green Plan and the energy transition, Singapore plans to substantially increase the deployment of solar power. The aim is to have 1.5 gigawatts installed by 2025 and more than 2 gigawatts by 2030. This compares to a peak demand of around 7 gigawatts today. So solar power will have a sizable share of the future power generation during peak sun hours. Now, in contrast to conventional power stations, solar power generation varies with the available sunshine. So with every cloud that moves over the solar system, the electricity generation goes down, and if the cloud moves away, the electricity generation comes up again. So we need to understand how much solar comes onto the installations here. And the magic number for that, or the magic metrics, is the so-called irradiance. Irradiance is a measure of the so-called sun intensity. And sun intensity is not captured by our normal weather forecast, where we mostly want to know whether it's sunny at all, how much temperature there will be, and whether or not it rains in the afternoon. So solar forecasting is then the attempt to predict the amount of sunshine that will be available for solar power generation over the next few minutes, the next few hours, and even day ahead. And this helps then to manage the electric power grid. And we can see here in this animation, this is our live irradiance map at a particular day, where you see within 10 minutes how quickly the irradiance conditions change. And red is high irradiance, yellow is low irradiance. And even worse, sometimes we get these massive thunderstorms coming in, and they move in rather quickly. So within 45 or 60 minutes, they can cover the whole island of Singapore and more or less switch off most of the solar power generation. So this is one of our meteorological stations where we capture irradiance, where we also try to understand what is the wind speed, the wind direction, ambient temperature, humidity. So for solar forecasting, what we basically have to do is we look up to the sky and see a certain cloud pattern, and then try to predict how would that look in 5 minutes, in 30 minutes, 60 minutes, and 7 hours from now. So if anyone can tell me how this looks in 30 minutes or 60 minutes from now, you got the job. So in the animation here, we see how this operational forecasting system works. The fine lines, these are the multiple forecasts which we generate, which are then blended through machine learning and historical data into the red forecast, which is the actual forecast. And that needs to be compared then with the blue one, because the blue one is the actual observation, how much intensity and irradiance was actually measured after the forecast. And you see that the red one mostly follows the blue one, and that's a good sign that the accuracy of the forecast is good. So luckily, we have leading solar experts in the team, and we developed a fully operational system all the way to 24/7 operation. It's currently being trialed at the Power System Control Center of EMA, and this is for us what we call a successful project. And so for us, before we going abroad with our forecasting, we are working with Sembcorp in Singapore to provide solar forecasting for their 60 megawatt floating solar farm, which is by far the largest solar power installation in Singapore. For that system, we already provide a localized forecast and report it to the Power System Control Center at EMA, which then helps them to better understand the impacts of this variable output from this huge solar installation on the electric power grid. And therefore, we are very grateful also to Sembcorp for providing us this opportunity. So the long-term plan is clearly to commercialize the outcomes from this project and offer professional forecasting services to the market. This will be both in Singapore and overseas. Well, this project has been very challenging, but we managed to overcome all the hurdles. We would like to thank the Energy Market Authority of Singapore, EMA, for the funding and for the great collaboration. And I would personally also like to thank the team for its tremendous efforts to generate such complex and fully operational solar forecasting system, which is absolutely world-class.